This last skill is not really calculator skill 3, but it is one that shows up on the test almost every year. And it's directly proportional, or you'll see varies directly. So this word directly usually, or proportional. And this kind of goes back to middle school, and this is just a proportion. Okay, they're going to give you 2 items. Sometimes they're real world items, and then sometimes it's just X and Y. Okay, if it's just X and Y, put Y over X and Y over X. So you're setting up 2 fractions, and you're going to set them equal to each other. So the first value they give you is Y. Put it in. X. Put it in. Then they gave you an X. Oops. And you're looking for the Y. What's the missing value? Okay, proportion. Remember, you cross multiply. So you have 70 times 35, and then you divide by the other variable. So again, this is back to middle school. 70 times 35 equals divided by 140. And if you want to see that in a fraction form or a decimal form, you just come over here and add a decimal point, enter, and there's your answer. Okay, now on these questions, sometimes if they give you 3 numbers, that's all you're doing is the proportion. Okay, you can also ask yourself, how did 140 become 70? I divided by 2. 140 divided by 2 is 70, and 35 divided by 2 is 17.5. You can also look at a proportion that way. Now, if they give you 3 numbers, you set up the proportion. If they only give you 2 numbers, all right, for example, let's say they only gave me 35 and 140. You put Y over X, and they'll tell you which one is Y, and I'll tell you which one is X. And you put Y over X, and that'll be your answer. Okay, and you can come over here in the calculator and simplify it to 1/4. Okay, or that's a decimal 0.25. And so this is what we call it's the rate of change ultimately. Okay, it's the rate of change, it's the slope, but when it's proportion, it's called the constant of variation. Okay, so again, you see this word proportional, varies directly. You need to add proportion to that. And you give you 3 values, you set up the proportion and solve. If they give you 2 values, you just put Y over X, and that's your answer. All right, so don't miss this question. All right, here's one for you to try. Again, Y over X, Y over X. They gave me Y, that's 40. They gave me X, that's 160. They gave me X, that's 80. So I need to find Y. So I multiply the 2 across from each other. So that's 40 times 80. Oh, wrong place. 40 times 80. And then divided by the last value, 160. Enter. Answer is 20. Okay, or how does 160 become 80? It's divided by 2. What's 40 divided by 2? 20. Okay, either way, you can cross multiply and divide, or you can look across and see how it's becoming one to the other.